Hello and welcome. Today is Thursday, January 22nd, 2026, and this is your daily sigh of relief. My greatest, biggest, and most substantial apologies to everybody who's been waiting with bated breath. I know I'm an hour late. Can you imagine having to wait an hour for the daily sigh? I don't know what y'all did. I don't know how you survived, but I'm proud of you. And I think we can say together that this should never happen again. Never again should you be kept back from this glorious and critical information. I was at a networking event, and to be honest with you, I just lost track of time, so forgive me. I go live every business day at 6 p.m. Eastern, or I try. It's now 7 p.m. Eastern. Again, forgive me for being late. And to the best of my ability, I give you everything that matters in the entrepreneurial world. If we haven't met, my name is Qasim. I'm a welfare baby turned self-made multimillionaire, and I help I help entrepreneurs who already have a real business but want smarter ways to grow in a post-AI world. That would be today. All of my content is and always will be free, and my goal in life is to help you achieve your definition of freedom. You can get the Daily Sigh delivered directly to your inbox by going to dailysigh.ai. Let's dive in. This one's chunky. Anthropic CEO says AI could replace software engineers in 6 to 12 months. Oh my goodness. First of all, if you've ever met a software engineer, which is difficult because they're elusive, they're deep, dark, cave-dwelling, over-caffeinated, extraordinarily nocturnal, anti-human. And so you don't often see them out in the wild, in the open, in the sunshine. But they're good people, generally speaking. And more to the point, jokes aside, this is an interesting piece of news because it just goes to illustrate one of the things that we're having to contend with. Generally speaking, white collar jobs historically have not been threatened. Usually, if it was something that you had to be degreed or credentialed for, you were more or less safe. And software engineers, for as long as the career has existed, have been one of the most important uh, components of the economic machine. And, here comes somebody who knows what he's talking about, saying that in 6 to 12 months, we may no longer need them. Now, is that excessive and hyperbolic? Maybe. But, even if, honestly, in an industry like that, even a 10% correction is catastrophic. And here he is saying that, 100% of an engineers could be replaced. Uh, this is a public prediction. And to be honest with you, the other thing too is we're seeing this reflected in all of the major, what would you call them? The Fortune 100. As they report on their numbers, report on their staffing, report on their profits, they're laying people off en masse and they're making more money, which usually those two things are counterweights. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not this holds true. Code is rapidly becoming a commodity. If you tuned into the Daily Sigh yesterday, I talked about Google's new drop. They're getting into the vibe coding space and they're doing an extraordinary job. Y'all, if you haven't played with vibe coding, you should slap yourself in the face right now and punish yourself in some way that's not insignificant. It should draw blood because you're an idiot. And jokes aside, it really is. It's more important than prompting because it puts you in a position to really understand what it is that AI is capable of, number one. Number two, it puts you in a position of understanding how AI can help you, your business, your role. It doesn't matter if you're not an entrepreneur. The vibe coding is really where the rubber meets the road right now from an AI perspective. It's one step short of agentic. And I really think there's a lot of opportunity there. If you want to learn vibe coding for free, I have a free forever community called vcinc.ai. A note on this topic, I actually bought both of my children's subscriptions to vibe coding tools. And I let them pick which ones because the interface matters and comfort matters. And my eldest chose Base 44, and my youngest chose Bolt.new. And they both vibe code their own games, and they do an extraordinary job. So if you want to know, like, your kids are going to be on screens one way or the other, I think a productive use of screen time is learning to vibe code. Story number 2. These are the jobs that can do best, so saith Microsoft Research. This is an interesting article. It's posted on Inc., but it's from Microsoft, or the studies from Microsoft. And they talk about the 10 jobs that will survive AI and the 10 jobs that will not. What's interesting about the 10 jobs that will not survive AI is some of them feel like a gut punch. One of them was authors and writers, which, if you're an avid reader like me and many of us, it's one of the things that you hear and you're like, gosh, I wonder what they mean and in what context. For the jobs that will survive AI, you could guess them. It's things like stonemasons and water purification plant managers, stuff that feels far too hands-on at the moment. The question here again is timeline. How long until robotics catches up, and then those jobs start getting eaten alive too. Story number 3: OpenAI is adding ads to ChatGPT. Honestly, this should have been story number 1, especially given who I am. I'm so excited about this. OpenAI confirmed it's introducing ads into ChatGPT. This signals the end of unlimited free access. Founders must decide whether to pay for clean AI tools or accept monetized attention. I did a deep dive on this after I saw this news come out, and there's still no strong indication as to what this is going to look like from an advertiser's perspective, because oh golly, would I love to get my hooks into something like this. But the fact that and OpenAI was very open, no pun intended, about their need to diversify their income streams. So the fact that they're being that honest about the revenue, the realities of their burn, I think is really interesting. Um, the Google AI chief shot arrows at OpenAI saying, well, gosh, that's kind of early. I'm rather surprised. And it was bound to happen. All of us were waiting for it. The evil marketers like me really want it. And it'll be interesting to see how it impacts the content ecosystem from an AI perspective. Because up until this very moment, the fight was to be the organic placement. Now it's going to be the paid placement. And then the other question that I would have is, what does that look like? Are they going to mirror and copy Google in that there's going to be options, or in true AI fashion, are they going to deliver a result? And how meritocratic is it going to be? One of the things that really helped Google Ads was a meritocratic ecosystem. You could pay less and still rank higher if you were the more relevant result. Does OpenAI follow suit, or is it 100% pay to play? OpenAI is, in various ways, owned by Microsoft. Microsoft has not been known for their meritocracy. They're very pay to play in so many ways. And so it'll be, again, just interesting. But now, hopefully, maybe they've learned from their lessons. But pay attention to OpenAI ad placement. I think this is going to be absolutely critical. I think you should be doing both organic and paid. So that would be AEO and OpenAI ads. And I think you should be doing an insane amount of remarketing. If you're not doing remarketing and brand traffic right now, you're putting yourself in a position of not capitalizing on the most important traffic that we have left. So, just a note. I mean, this was my world for 15 years, and I'm telling you, that's an absolute minimum. Next story. Apple spent years downplaying AI chatbots. Now Siri is becoming one. Apple is rebuilding Siri into a full conversational AI assistant. This is shockingly late. With Apple's install base, advanced AI becomes normalized for hundreds of millions of users. I'm blown away. Apple was really, I think, between Apple and Amazon, I don't know who was first, but those were the dueling pianos in the chatbot world, Alexa and Siri. And the fact that it took Apple this long, I think, is crazy. So we'll see what that penetration looks like. I also wonder how that's going to coordinate and cooperate with their relationship with Google, because they're going deep with using Google AI, which is interesting. This AI startup just tripled its valuation to $300 million in 4 months. We're watching it happen in real time. You're seeing the prediction of the single founder $1 billion business and, 2 employee $1 billion exit companies. Sam Altman brought it up. What's that NYU professor's name? Scott Galloway has said it. And we're looking at it. We're looking at these explosive growth organizations. And y'all, the moat is data. If you have a data moat, then I'm not telling you you're going to get $1 billion. But if you have a data moat, then your company's worth much more than a company without a data moat. And what is a data moat, Qasim? Honestly, I don't know. It depends on your business. If you own a trucking company, the routes that the trucks drive, the frequency of repairs, the types of repairs, the cost, the parts, the burn, the churn, the retention, like all that stuff. That's all data. That's potentially a data moat. So look at the businesses that you are in and are exposed to and ask yourself, do I own a data moat that I don't even know exists? Because I think it's important for you to know. Some backup story banks. Google launches VO3 video tools. This is an old story. I brought it up before, but I'm going to bring it up again because it's so important. If you haven't played with VO3, y'all, it's badass. You can, I mean, like feature film quality video production. Truly, truly, truly extraordinary. MIT enables LLMs to process 10 million tokens. A recursive framework allows massive context windows. Context windows are the things that hold AI back from being truly functional on a day-to-day level. As context windows expand, so too will our ability to use AI as like just your second brain and your best friend. I think what we're waiting for is expansive context windows and something like a hardware jump. I need to be able to wear a lapel or a pin, or maybe it's native to the phone, but that feels difficult. But we need to be able to have something that just captures for the sake of capturing. I realize that freaks most of you out. It freaks me out a little bit too. And it's what needs to happen in order for this whole thing to work. Yeah, I think I got it. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Thank you again for being patient with me. As I was an hour late, I promise I'm going to try not to do that often. If you want the daily AI or the Daily Sigh delivered to your inbox, go to dailysigh.ai. Same tomorrow.